I've been looking forward to this one for a while. Hollywood Studios, or MGM as some people still call it, is my favorite park in Disney World. It always has been, and it always will be. I've loved this park since I was a little kid. Whenever I go down, it's usually the first park I go to. This series has been going really well so far, so now it's time to take a look at the evolution of MGM Studios guide maps. MGM Studios started out as an idea for a pavilion in Epcot. In 1985, a team of Imagineers were asked to create ideas for two brand new pavilions in Epcot, one being a movie pavilion idea. The movie pavilion would have a soundstage backdrop and the entrance looking like a movie theater. The concept for the ride was very much like the Great Movie Ride. When the idea was pitched to the newly appointed CEO, Michael Eisner, he liked the idea so much that he wanted it to not just be a ride, but a whole new theme park. On February 17, 1985, Michael Eisner made the announcement in front of Walt Disney Productions shareholders that Disney World would be getting a new theme park themed to the movies, 2 sound stages, and a working animation building. The only problem is that MCA Incorporated, better known as Universal Pictures today, had the exact same idea and had been pitching the idea to Paramount because they wanted their partnership. Before Disney, Michael Eisner had been president of Paramount Pictures, so this made Universal executives very mad. But plans have already been made and construction had begun on the park. They needed a name, so they decided to partner with MGM. A deal was made in June of 1985 to use MGM's logo in much of its movies. That made MGM's owner Kirk Kerkorian very angry, and attempts to get out of the deal were made but were not successful. On May 1st, 1989, MGM Studios opened to the public, and on that opening day were guide maps of the park. The layout of the park was very simple, since there were only 4 opening day attractions. Studio Backlot Tour, which at the time was a 2-hour ride and took up much of the park, and Great Movie Ride, The Magic of Disney Animation in the Animation Building, and Superstar TV. The front of the map had the style where the picture would be in the middle of the cover. This picture was Mickey in the director's chair in front of the Chinese theater. If you've seen my other videos on the guide maps from this time, you knew they are a multiple-page book, almost, with each land being on the pages. For MGM, there would literally be 2 pages with lands on them because that's all there was. Hollywood Boulevard with Great Movie Ride, the Backlot Annex with the Studio Tour. Star Tours and Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular would quickly open the same year. In 1990, more attractions started open, like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playset, Here Comes the Muppets, and the Monster Sound Show. The cover had the same style, but the picture was Kermit and Roger Rabbit with Mickey in front of the MGM Studios archway. In 1991, the guide map covers would change from this to this. I've said it before, don't like this cover. It's way too dated, and I don't know why they would change it. At least it's better than this abomination. Anyway, this was Walt Disney World's 20th anniversary, so that's why they changed it. 1991 brought the additions of Muppet Vision 3D and Beauty and the Beast live on stage, and the Muppets on Location, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were in MGM Studios for a little bit near the backlot. 1993, MAP started advertising for the new Sunset Boulevard expansion. Plus, the map looked more cartoonish and also had characters above the buildings, so guests would have an easier time knowing which attractions are. The map booklet was an unfoldable pamphlet, and when you unfolded the map, it took up both the top and the bottom. Sunset Boulevard opened in 1994, and the map itself didn't change, except of course with the inclusion of the land. On the map was promotion for the new Tower of Terror attraction. Sunset Boulevard also had Beauty and the Beast live on stage, which opened up back in 1991, but the theater was moved when the expansion happened. In 1995, the style of the map changed. Now it was a simpler design with a color representing the land. Pink was Hollywood Boulevard, yellow was Animation Courtyard, purple was the backlot, light blue was New York Street, green was Sunset Boulevard, and orange was Echo Lake. Interestingly, later in the year, the color for Echo Lake changed to light green. Underneath the map, The show and attraction descriptions, restaurant descriptions, and shop descriptions were listed. 1996 brought a big change to the map with that art style that I love so much. On the cover there was only one picture, and it was in the middle with the background being one single color. Above the picture was the logo and Mickey with the clapboard. On the clapboard was the 25th anniversary logo, and on top of the background was the date the pamphlet was available. Also in 1996, Hunchback of Notre Dame, a musical adventure, opened near the backlot, and a new theater was constructed and added to the guide map. After 1996, the map changed covers, of course, with new colors and pictures, but the next big change wouldn't come until 1998, with the addition of Fantasmic.
A magnificent battle between good and evil is coming to the Disney MGM Studios. It's Fantasmic, the new nighttime spectacular starting this fall. And you can win a chance to be there for the grand opening, only at the Disney MGM Studios.
The massive Hollywood Hills amphitheater would have to be added to the map in October of '98. Plus, the outer portion of the map would have to be changed to have logos on the different attractions. This was only the beginning for new things at MGM Studios. The very next year, in 1999, Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith would open next to the Tower of Terror. In 2001, Mickey's Sorcerer Hat would open. This controversially blocked the Chinese Theater, which was supposed to be like the castle at the end of Main Street. Or when you first walk into Future World, you see Spaceship Earth. It would be the park's icon. Would you put a hat in front of the castle? No. If you can't tell, I don't like the hat very much. It was added because of the big celebration of what would have been Walt's 100th birthday. The hat was originally supposed to be in front of the park with a museum under it. But due to construction issues, they decided to build the hat inside the park and put the museum where it still is today, in One Man's Dream. Definitely recommend One Man's Dream if you haven't seen it yet. This was also the year they removed the dates from the cover of the guide maps. Lights, Motor, Action Extreme Stunts Show opened in 2005, so the residential street, part of the backlot, needed to be taken out for the stadium. Skipping ahead a few years to 2008 when MGM Studios closed, but reopened the very next day as Hollywood Studios. Disney had to change the name as their contract with MGM had run out, and MGM did not want to re-sign with Disney. Also that year, Pixar Place opened. Inside Pixar Place was a meet and greet with Buzz and Woody, a short-lived Luxo Jr. show, and Toy Story Mania. Toy Story Mania is such a popular attraction that it even outlasted the original land. The name changed, and the new ride, of course, meant new guide maps would have to be made. These debuted in January and had the new Hollywood Studios logo. In 2013, across Disney World, something massive happened. They changed the style of the guide maps to fit with My Disney Experience virtual maps. Except, with Hollywood Studios and Epcot, they did something weird. They flipped the guide maps so you would be facing the park from the back. Weird. 1 year later, in 2014, Disney announced that they would be tearing down the Sorcerer Hat and restoring the old sightline. Finally! This thing was supposed to be gone, but they kept it for 13 years. What? Now we can finally have the Chinese theater back at the icon, right? No, not really. Hollywood Studios at this point was trying to get away from the behind the scenes of movies and bring you into the movies, even though that's what they do at every other park. We didn't know that at the time, but they had something big planned, and at D23 in 2015, they would announce their plans. First, they would announce that the Eiffel Tower and part of the backlot would become Toy Story Land, with 2 new attractions and a new entrance for Toy Story Mania, and a brand new Star Wars land.
Well, we're bringing Star Wars to life in a big way, and I mean really big. We're creating a jaw-dropping new world that represents our largest single-themed land expansion ever. Now, we knew it needed to be big, we knew it needed to be great, and we knew it needed to be every bit as thrilling as the films are going to be. So we're going to transport guests to a whole new planet. The land will be real and authentic, and every encounter will bring more of the Star Wars story to life. And one more thing, we're not just building one of these, we're building two. One, Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, and the other, right here in Anaheim at Disneyland.
This would mean the backlot and Lights Motor Action would have to close. And they did. The backlot closed in 2014 and Lights Motors Action in 2016. Toy Story Land would open a year before Galaxy's Edge in 2018. And Galaxy's Edge would open at the end of 2019. When Galaxy's Edge opened in 2019, the guide map was changed to face the right way. The next year in 2020, the global pandemic happened, of course, and Disney had to close. But a couple of months after it reopened, on the cover, we got a picture of kids in Galaxy's Edge with masks on. Just this past October 2021, Disney World celebrated its 50th anniversary. And all of the parks got brand new guide maps with the beacons of magic icons on them. So that is the history of Hollywood Studios guide maps. As you know, Hollywood Studios opened up in 1989, so I did not have as much to talk about in this video. And next month is even going to be harder because we're doing Animal Kingdom, and that barely has changed. But I'm still going to make the video, I'm still going to do it. I was really looking forward to making this video because it's interesting. Hollywood Studios right now, I feel, is going through a little bit of an identity crisis. Because they are starting to move away from the behind-the-scenes aspect of the park and move more into the be-in-the-movies kind of thing. And I don't like that, because in the 90s, it was good. You know, they had the animation building strong, which they need to get rid of Launch Bay, but they had the animation building going, they had the back lot. Not a lot of movies were being filmed there like they really wanted to do. But it was still a unique look, especially now because Universal also shifted away from the backlot kind of stuff a while ago, before Hollywood Studios did it. But now it's kind of like, if we can't fit it in Magic Kingdom, let's put it in Hollywood. And I don't like that. So, I hope you enjoyed this history. I hope you join me next month for Animal Kingdom guide maps. And if you did enjoy this video, let me know by hitting that like button and consider subscribing. It would make me a very happy man. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Have a magical day, everybody.